All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hurt Business Podcast. My name is Ferris Shirai, and today I have a special guest with me today. He is an amateur fighter at 170. He is 3-0. They call him the American Psycho. He is a fun fella to watch fight, and I look forward to chatting with him today. He is Brody McDougal. How we doing today, boss?
I'm very good, Ferris, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Anytime, man. Well, this is the first time. This is your Hurt Business debut.
Yes, it is. Yeah, man. Nah, I'm really excited to be on.
Man, I share that sentiment with you, man. And tell me about your last fight, brother. Last January, you're coming off that arm bar. You're known as a guy who can strike. You pull out a fucking arm bar. How did that feel getting it done that way?
Yeah, I mean, it felt really good, man. I hate being just the stereotypical striker. Like I've really been pissed off as of late watching, like high level MMA, all the striker versus grappler matchups, always going to these grapplers, and it's something that just can't be overlooked in the modern game, especially at the levels that I'm hoping to be at, pretty soon here. So I've really been just doubling down on the ground game. Like it's so important that like you refine your strengths, but you double down on things that are your weaknesses. And at
Mm.
previous to now, like the ground game had really been a weakness of mine. I'm super lucky to have really high level coaching between Devin, who's a black belt here, my number one training partner Kyle Hill is a brown belt, and then I have all the guys over at Port City, Jay Mansfield, all those guys that I've gotten some cross training with as well. Just doubling down on that ground game. Yeah. So it was really satisfying to pull out, a submission victory on a submission specialist.
Armbar, is that one of your go-tos, or is just what you've seen in the moment?
Yeah, I mean, like I think an armbar is kind of anyone's go-to when you're in guard, right? I mean, I had him in a triangle first, but whether it's triangle armbar or guard armbar, it just it's not a super flashy submission, but it's effective.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, I would say that an armbar is definitely something that I like going for.
Now, when I was looking through your Instagram today, I noticed in your bio it says artist.
Yes, sir.
Why artist instead of entertainer or athlete?
Because I really think that what I'm doing out there it's not the same thing as a regular sport. Like I don't consider myself like a quote unquote athlete, if you will. I don't think I'm a remarkably talented athlete by any means. But what I do out there is mix things up and move in a way that I think is really artistic and find
Mm.
my flow, particularly in the striking game. And I think when I reach that flow and I'm kind of in that more of an artist's mindset is when I'm at my best.
Now, is this something that you realized while competing, or is this something that you've always had? Like, is it that psychology behind your approach to fighting?
I think honestly it was something I developed more in training. I've only had 3 fights, 4 if you include my Muay Thai fight, but I get so many rounds in the gym. Like that's obviously where we're refining our striking, and I'm
Mm.
getting the most of those live looks. And that's just when I realized I'm at my best. On competition day, on fight day, like that, the American Psycho side of me is always going to come out. You know what I mean? Like I know I'm going to have that. I'm going to have that grit and that dog, if you will, when it's go time. What's more like most important to me is finding that balance between like trying to almost calm myself down a little bit and allow myself to achieve that flow state compared
Mm.
to just being that dog on a bone.
Mm. That's so fascinating, bro. Who are some other artists that you've seen compete that you kind of not necessarily model your game after, but take bits and pieces from most?
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the smaller guys, Corey Sandhagen is one
Mm.
that I think like I just love. Like when you see him in his flow, you know what I mean? Like I think what was it, the Peter Yan fight? He threw
Yeah.
that flying knee as he shot, lands the flying knee, and then is able to like immediately go into a sprawl and get on his hip and like ride it out on a hip. Like that's something that you can just you're watching and you know that that's not something he's thinking about. You know what I mean? His
Mm.
body's just in that flow state and he's just reacting and his body's just doing what he's trained it to do over thousands and thousands of hours in the gym. Another person like that, I think, is Sean O'Malley. You know, like when he's in his flow and he's in his striking zone, like, it's crazy, man. Like just hitting, not getting hit, making people miss. Yeah, I love both of their styles a lot.
When you were talking about the flow state at the beginning of this, the first fighter that popped in my mind was Corey Sandhagen, because I'm sure I've heard him say similar things to what you mentioned. So that's so fascinating. He has a big fight coming up against Umar.
Yeah,
What do you think about that matchup?
matchup. Because that's not an easy matchup, right? Like Umar's a lower ranked. I don't even think he's ranked in the top 10 right now. He's not a household name, right? Like not a lot of people that are more casual fans are going to be like, oh, wow, Corey Sandhagen's doing what Corey Sandhagen's doing. You kind of have to, I feel like, know what's up in the game a little bit to understand how big of an undertaking this is for him and how tough a fight that is.
Yeah.
So I always tip my hat to people that do things like that. I think like Dan Hooker's another one like that. Like sometimes like like as a fan, I want him to take an easier fight. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, like give yourself a break. Like, come on, man. You don't have to fight an absolute killer every time.
Jalen
But
Turner.
yeah, dude. Again, I mean, dude, like you have to respect it. You know what I mean?
100%, man. I mean, I'm kind of hoping Corey gets it done against Umar, just to be like, you throw me in with the young wolves, I'm still that guy. Because Corey,
Yeah,
it's hard not to be a fan of him.
dude, he's so cool, man. Again, like I keep saying like that flow, but it's like that. It's the style I love. You know what I mean? Like that. It's the hit, not get hit, but not in the safe way, if you will. It's just like just seeing things. You know what I mean? Like he's just seeing things coming and just like making a miss, slipping, landing his counters, like sticking in the middle of their combinations and breaking up their combinations. Like it's just beautiful to watch.
Yeah, man, that 35 division is such a blast, man.
Stacked.
Yeah, 100%. But earlier you mentioned fight day comes around, the American Psycho always shows up.
Yeah.
What made you go with the American Psycho as your nickname?
So I mean, like I didn't nickname myself, right? Like I think that's
Yeah.
important to throw out there right off the bat. I mean, I think I've definitely I've always had that kind of thing about me, whatever it is. Like some people say I'm a psycho, like maybe I'm just really excitable, it's kind of how I more look at it. But I always kind of had that before I was given the nickname. My first two fights, I didn't have the nickname, but I was definitely pretty psycho out back before. And then I just released some T-shirts, some fight shirts, and it had a picture of me with like some like fake blood splattered behind it. And I was just sitting out back cutting weight, and one of the kids, Devin here at the gym, was like, "Hey, Brody, like you look like." Dude, I always forget his name, but you look the famous actor that I'm an asshole for not knowing his name from American Psycho, Batman.
Yeah, I'm definitely not the guy to get the reference, man. I
Dude,
apologize.
yeah, no worries, man. Either way, but so they said I looked like him. I had seen the movie, and I was like, like that's pretty cool. And then I was actually weighing in at Cage Titans that same event, and Andy, he's always pushing people for nicknames. And I was sitting down filling out my fighter paperwork, and he was like, dude, do you have a nickname yet? I was like, no, like maybe you can give me one. And he's like, oh, like I don't know, like I could. And I was like, well, I did have a kid say this to me the other day at the gym, and I was like, like Stephen Bonner, kind of already like pretty trademarked. I don't want to be that guy, And Andy was like, nah, dude, no, like you embody that nickname, like you can have that nickname. So really, part Devin for throwing it out there, and then Andy giving me the confidence to write it down.
The alley oop from Devin, the slam dunk by Andy.
Yeah, man.
Ah, man, I seen the clip. You have it also on your Instagram where you're like hitting yourself, you're yelling before the fight, just getting in a crazy zone, and the Psycho, American Psycho, definitely fits that persona. But to that same point, how do you get in that zone where it's like it's go time?
That's a really, really good question. I feel like part of it is just in the moment, right? Like you're in the moment, like you're gonna be in a fist fight whether you like it or not, right? Like you're already there. So I think that's kind of part of it, is like that fight or flight, and it's like I'm not one to run, so I think that kind of fight comes out of me in the moment, and I don't know. It's not really something I have to like get out or bring out from within me. It's just when it's time to go, I just kind of turn into a different person, if you will.
When it's time to go, it's time to go.
Yeah.
What does it mean to represent the team of Nostros up there in Maine?
It's such an honor, man. Honestly, like I can't speak high enough of Devin and the entire coaching staff here. What they sacrifice, what he sacrifices, especially individually, to get the best out of all of us as fighters. We have everything here. He brings world-class people in from all around the world to get us extra looks and extra work. Just incredibly blessed and very, very lucky to carry the flag in there with me.
Yeah, shout out you guys. I see it every Cage Titans event. You guys definitely roll deep. You guys ride out for each other. You guys have sometimes 3-4 guys or ladies on the card, and every time out you guys are on cage side, yelling, passionate, man. I love to see it.
Yeah, it's an awesome team here, man. And even like the people that aren't fighters, really get behind everyone. The people that train more casual or more, the families of the kids, they're all super behind us. Always, buying shirts, buying tickets to come watch us fight, and even just checking up on us. Like a few months ago when I had that wrist break, I had a couple of parents of just kids come up to me and just say like, hey, like if you need anything, like while you're going through this, like if there's anything that we can help with, like if you have any issues with like medical expenses or anything, like just let us know. And it was really eye-opening to see just that kind of support from people, and how genuine it is.
What did that mean to you to get that level of support from a stranger?
It was just really cool, man. It was something that I don't think people get to see a lot, especially in this day and age, and a lot of stuff's like pretty negative, but I think when you're surrounding yourself with the right people, and then when you get to see that genuine support come out, it lights a fire in me. It goes back to kind of that old Conor McGregor quote of like, he talked about like he previously had half commitment, and it's like your half commitment is a shame on all these people that support you, and I don't have half commitment by any means, but it's something that definitely keeps me motivated, and like these people believe in me and these people support me, and I'm gonna go prove them right.
That's a beautiful thing, man. You deserve all the support, brother, especially heading into your next fight. We've been on here for 15 minutes. We haven't even began to talk about the big matchup coming up July 22nd for the amateur 170-pound title, which I know there's some gold on the line, but this is really a BMF title fight right here. This is really two bad dudes, man, getting in there. So tell me from your perspective, how does it feel to get in there with a guy who's gonna bring it?
I'm excited, man. I haven't really had a dogfight yet in my career. I haven't really had a mark put on me in the cage yet in my career. I'm excited for someone that's going to bring some forward pressure, and be tough and be resilient in there, and hopefully give me a little bit of a fight. With that being said, though, I think I'm really going to surprise some people with how big of a mismatch this actually is.
How has the preparation been for this one?
I mean, it's been bar none, man. Like, I didn't think I could really step it up from my last title fights preparations, but I have. I've been mixing like a lot more hill work, a lot more hill sprints. I just feel like my cardio, my conditioning's on another level. Like, I had the opportunity to train one-on-one with Nongo, one championship bantamweight world champion. Like, to get a couple of days working with somebody like that, like that's incredible. And then this camp, we've been mixing it up with some of your mom's basement guys. So I've been traveling down to the Cape and getting some work down with some of those guys as well. I mean, just diversifying the looks I've had. It's been awesome. I've never felt better.
I was gonna ask you about the mom's basement, man. I'm a huge fan of those guys and all that they're doing, and they're getting some real notable talents coming through there just to train. How is that getting the looks from a Pete Luciani or Connor Matz or Mitch Raposo, who was there when you were over there. What was that like for you?
It was really cool, man. Like, you know how you perform in your gym, but it's always cool to see how you perform against some guys that are at the, upper echelon of the sport, from some surrounding gyms as well. So, that was a big confidence booster, for me to get in there and, do a little bit of work with them. And, Pete's been awesome. Pete's been giving me some private striking work. Working on some really cool conceptual things that I'm hoping to really exploit in this fight. And yeah, man, just overall, just really positive guys over there, just working really hard. And it's a pleasure to be a part of.
Hmm. What does a successful night look like for you, July 22nd?
Just walking out of there with that belt, man. I don't really care how it comes, whether it's a tough fight and it goes 5 rounds and I dog out a victory, or whether I knock the dude out in the first 10 seconds. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm just walking out of there with that belt. That cage's mine. Cage Titans, amateur 170's mine. Everybody knows it. It's been a matter of time for me to just get in there and collect that belt. So I'm leaving with my hardware.
That is so fun to hear, man. What's next for you? If all goes well on that night.
I mean, not 100% sure as of this point right now, right? Like, just focused on this fight, working really hard. But I mean, my training partners are all turning pro. Kyle Hill's making his pro debut this Saturday. Kyle Pufall's making his pro debut this Saturday. Again, I know how I stack up with a lot of local talent, and I think I'm close to making that jump here myself. Whether it's this one or we take one more, we'll see. But yeah, we're close.
Can't wait to see it, brother. I can't wait to see you fight the 22nd and then potentially going pro one day and see what that career looks like. But some funner questions for you. What's one place that you would love to fight in internationally? Could be any country, any city, state.
Ooh, that's a really good question, man. I mean, like, Japan or China would be really cool. Like, seeing the crazy like pyrotechnics they put off, and just like the size of the shows that they have. So like,
Yeah.
anywhere in like Asia would be really cool. I mean, obviously like Brazil would be really cool. Like, huge fight hall in there. Um, I mean, right here at home, man. Like, there's nothing I want to do more in my career, honestly, than get a UFC fight in the TD Garden one day. So, I mean, like, that would be my number one, if anything. You know what I mean? Right here for my hometown fans. That would be, number one. But as far as outside the United States, I'd probably say, like, China or Japan, like, one of those crazy shows out there.
Yeah, some part of Asia. Have you ever been to Asia at all?
No, man, I haven't traveled at all. I'm a strictly New England guy. I've flown to Vegas 2 times. I went to Canada a couple of times to play hockey. But yeah,
Okay.
I've only been on an airplane 2 times my entire life.
Wow. One to Vegas, one to Canada.
2 to Vegas. I drove
Two
to
to
Canada.
Vegas. Oh, okay. Because I guess Canada's not that far from us. But dude, you got to go international, man. Do we got a passport? Is this something we could see this year? Maybe next year? Get a vacation in?
Yeah, I got a passport. Yeah, we could get something in. I'd love. I mean, again, once I turn pro, man, I'm about that money. We'll fly out somewhere and we'll go fight somewhere else. That'd be cool. I'd love that. I've already had a little bit of travel experience, even in amateur, flying down to Florida and fighting.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool flying and getting to travel to fight somewhere. It's like competing and having a vacation all in one. And also, again, like, I'm a little bit of a psycho. I like getting booed. I think it's fun. It fires me up when I get booed because, it's like, yeah, like, boo me now. Like, watch what I'm going to do to your boy in a couple minutes,
Look at me now.
Yeah.
You don't mind playing the heel,
No,
playing the
of
bad
course
guy.
not. No. I just don't care. How's that music? Is that super loud coming in the background now?
No, it's fine. I
All right, cool. We just got
yeah,
sparring going on in the other
yeah.
room.
It's all
My
right. I
apologies.
understand. No
But
worries.
yeah, no, I'm cool with playing the heel for sure, man. I don't like, I don't think I really play a character, honestly. I think, like, I'm just me, like, all the way around. And I'm going to tell it how I feel. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for anyone. I'm also not going to, like, go out of my way to directly disrespect anybody either. But I'm going to tell people how I feel, and, you know, they can feel how they feel about it.
Dream opponent.
Ooh. Dude, right now, Hamzat. Hamzat.
And what,
That
85?
monster. Nah, dude. I mean, I guess like if we had to, yeah, because he probably is going up to 185. I was thinking of him as a 70er.
Mm.
But I just like I don't know, like some sort of like monster grappler like that like everybody has like pegged at the top of the mountain is like, you know, that guy that can't be taken down. Like those are the skulls I'm hunting for.
That'd be a banger. Do you one day hope to get a matchup like that? Somebody who's gonna crotch sniff, as some may say, somebody who's gonna try to take you down and wrestle the whole fight.
No, I mean, I'm not like going out of my way looking for it. Like, obviously, like that sucks, right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, it sucks for me. Like, I think it sucks to watch when people do it. It's exhausting. Like, it's a pretty shitty way to have to fight.
yeah.
With that being said, like, I'm working really hard on having the recipe and the game plan for eliminating that and that not being an option anymore.
Mm. You catching UFC 290 this weekend? I know you have some teammates fighting at the NEF card.
Yeah, probably not. That'll be tough because I'm actually cornering both the Kyles for their pro debuts, so we'll probably be busy. But hopefully, if we can get out of there at a somewhat decent hour, maybe we can catch like the main event or co-main.
Can I get some picks out of you for that co-main, those two title fights up there at the top?
Sorry, refresh my memory. We obviously have.
I got you, brother. We got
Whatever.
Yair versus Volk at the top, the main event.
Oh yeah, I mean Volk for sure. Um, Dude, like he's a
Yeah,
monster, right?
yeah.
He's another one. Like I wouldn't necessarily consider him as like my style with like getting in that flow state and stuff. Like we obviously have a super different build. Like he's like a more short, stocky guy. But man, he's incredible. He's awesome to watch, and he's someone that can mix it up, and does mix it up at all levels, but not in a boring way. You know, like if I get into wrestling exchanges, like I want them to be like Volk. You know, I want to punch my way in, smash, and then smash you while you're on the ground. Yeah, Volk all the way. I thought he pulled it off against Islam. We won't get into that. Yeah, but definitely Volk.
Fair enough. Brandon Moreno versus Pantoja in the co-main for the flyweight strap.
So
Banger.
that's such a banger, dude. Obviously, Pantoja, like, you know, already finished him twice. But, dude, Brandon Moreno is so good, man. Like, he's
That
looked
dude.
so good as of late, especially. I think he's someone who's, like, definitely a late bloomer as far as his mixed martial arts career. He's, like, what, 31 now? And it's almost like he's just kind of hitting his prime. Um, I've spoken with some dudes that have actually gotten to train with Brandon Moreno and have just what they've told me is just his cardio, his power, the volume of which he throws things like it's just unreal to see live and you know face in person. I love that Mexican boxing style. Again, it's so exciting to watch. Just throwing bombs. Looks like a little kid, dude, but is
Yeah.
tough as nails.
Yeah.
One of the toughest dudes I've ever seen in there. So yeah, I got my boy
Yeah.
Brennan Moreno on that one.
One of the toughest dudes, yet he plays with Legos and builds these crazy sculptures.
Yeah,
Brandon, it's so hard not to love that dude, man.
yeah.
He's such a people's person. And not only that, but like he might be the American Psycho. I don't know if you've seen him like coming out and where it's like a whole different person. It's not the same Brandon.
Yeah.
He's like super serious and you know, you do stamp that? Is he the Mexican Psycho? Did
Oh,
you
for
approve of
sure.
that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, dude, he doesn't have. I don't need to give him approval of anything, dude. He's Brandon Moreno. He's the UFC champion. He is whatever he says he is. 100%, man.
My man, this has been a pleasure, brother. Thank you so much for the time today. I'm going to leave you with the last words. Shout out the Instagram and answer this last question for me. Why should people watch you July 22nd?
People should watch me July 22nd because I'm bringing something back into the Cage Titans cage. They haven't seen in a year. You know, everyone's been super excited to see the violence I brought an entire year ago. I had only been trained for like a year and a half at that point, you know what I mean? So another entire year of development for me is extreme, you know, that I feel like I have literally just completely leveled up as a fighter. I feel like people haven't got to see it yet, and I'm really, really excited to just showcase to all those fans and all the people that, you know, have been loving and supporting me, how hard I've been working, and, you know, just ready to show it.
Thank you so much for the time, brothers. Good luck to your teammates this weekend. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck the rest of the way in training camp, and we'll see you July 22nd.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Ferris. Appreciate you having me, man.
Anytime.